Welcome to the debate with Stephan F Wagner regarding social media, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Stephan is founder of Wagner Consulting, which specializes in personal branding through personal development, integrity, and high-quality content. Stephan was the first guest on the AskFaleskini podcast interview series and is now the first guest on the AskFaleskini podcast, My Debate series. Welcome back, Stephan, to the AskFaleskini podcast. You have been first twice on this podcast. So let's start with the debate with a discussion of how important it is to be first in social media.
Hi, Peter. I'm really happy to be here again. It was a pleasure last time. And I guess this time we're going to have fun again.
Yeah, as always.
As always. How important is social media?
And how important is to be first?
Well, not at all. The point is to be there is important. And whenever you start, it's never too late. So you don't really have to need to be the very first. You just need to be there. And you need to be consequent. And then it will work out.
So do you believe that the first people that start something new, they make all the mistakes? And then we, the followers, can avoid these mistakes and do the better prototype first time?
Yeah, that's a very good strategy that you're just talking. But the point is, wherever you are, no matter if it's in business or in private, we have basically three different kinds. We have the first starters. They start something even if it doesn't really work. You might remember Tesla, the first few cars, they were kind of not perfect. Then we have the medium starters. They are always looking if things are already working, if the risk is still too big. Mm-hmm. And if the risk is not too big anymore, they start. And then we have the slow starters. They will enter a system after everything is proven 1,000 times. For social media, you can do whatever you want. You can be one of the first starters. Then you have to accept that you might need more work to do. Things are not always working out at the beginning. Personally, I'm in the middle group because I really enjoy to at least take over experience from others. It makes my life much easier.
I'm a bit more conservative, so I'm usually the last starter, the follower. As you can see also on platforms, we met on LinkedIn with the top person ambassador, and I was one of the last to join. Although I had a lot of benefits of joining, and I'm still working on that. So, do you believe that making business it's possible without social media these days?
Well, I know exactly it is possible, but the point is, why should you make things extra difficult? You know, it's like having a car and still going buy food. You know, it's not necessary. Social media is like a wonderful tool that we can just use. And if you build a house nowadays, you don't try to put in the nails by hitting it with your forehead. You're using a hammer. So why not use the given tools?
So do you believe social media is important for branding or branding and community building?
Well, it is definitely a massive tool that can make that so much easier. If you compare especially marketing and branding to about 20 years ago, at that time, you still had your high polished magazine, you had your flyers, you know, you had your profile business cards, probably, you know, but all of that stuff costs a shitload of money. And as soon as it's printed, you cannot change it easily. Now, with the digital medias, with social medias, you can basically roll out a brand strategy within days. And not only that, in the past, if you wanted to be quite sure that your strategy works, you had to do a real invest. You had probably to do 2 different print versions or even more. Nowadays, you just go to social media and you can even do an A/B test at the same time, even at the same channels. So these options, these possibilities, they have never been here before. So it's so easy compared to the past. All those who are not using social media for their marketing and also to gain new customers, they are just missing out a real treasure.
Okay. I remember in Germany, trade fairs were a big thing. In some sense, they still are. There was two. If you wanted to be known as a producer, you had to be on the fair.
Yeah.
And if you want to know all the people, you had to visit the fair. So it was almost a must to be on certain fairs at that time. Do you think that this is now somehow transferred to social media, or are the fairs still important?
That's a really interesting question. In the Corona time, everyone was really afraid that probably there will be no fairs anymore and all of that stuff. I think there will be fairs even in 10 years or in 20 years alone because we are all social beings. So even if we would not have a product to show, the pure fact that you can meet someone in person will always be attractive. What I realized, especially the last, let's say, 12 months on fairs here in Germany, that even on the booth, sometimes they don't even have a lot of equipment anymore. So even on the booth, there is very often some kind of online access, some kind of virtual demonstration, all of that stuff. And the people are still standing there. You can still talk to them, but it's not like in the years before that you can touch all of these things. Things are changing. Still, humans are social beings. The possibility to sometimes have a direct conversation, I think that is still valued very high. But probably I'm old-fashioned. That's my thing.
Yeah. So social media is still a really important tool. And I also believe, or at least I used to have a really big Rolodex with all the business cards inside and all the people. And now I have all the people on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I interact with them. I share my content. I get their feedback. When I need, I get in touch with them. I think, for example, LinkedIn is for me the best B2B tool there is in operation right now, or at least that I'm aware of, and that I can use it to some degree. What do you think are the best social media for business to business
Well,
right now?
when you're somewhere in the Western Hemisphere, I would definitely say LinkedIn. LinkedIn still has a giant reach when it comes to professionals. And as you've realized yourself, the way to behave on LinkedIn is really not comparable to Facebook. So you don't have that much cat content, not that much crying babies in your feed. Usually people are really trying to show their values, to show what they can do, to show their expertise, which I love on LinkedIn. It's a bit difficult using LinkedIn if you try to go into personal or political themes. But if you use LinkedIn purely for business, it's still a great platform because you can show more. You have, let's say, the dynamic is more reflected. You have usually people who are willed to read some lines. In so many other platforms, you can do a lot of work, but sometimes only the first 2 lines are being read, and then all of your work is just going to waste. That is still very good at LinkedIn.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
But on the other hand, LinkedIn, especially since the beginning of Corona, changed its tonality a little bit. That means, although I don't really like to talk about it at all, LinkedIn is highly getting censored since a few years. And you realize that if you use it continuously, that is why I clearly tell everyone, use LinkedIn for business purpose only and purely. Then still a great platform.
Okay. Well, what do you think about Facebook as a platform to reaching out to customers, business to business customers, not end customers, end consumers?
Difficult. I also have a Facebook account, which is quite small with about 1,500 followers, something like that. And at Facebook, if you have an end consumer product, it's great. You can have a big reach for end consumers quite quickly. But in business to business, still, I would prefer LinkedIn.
Okay. Do you think that Instagram has become just, let's say, part of Facebook because of all the integration? Do you think that the group of people using it is marginally or almost the same?
Sometimes I have a comparable feeling, but due to the fact that I'm also using Instagram, it's more like the feeling was it's like merging with Facebook. It's becoming like Facebook 2.0 on a different format. But I believe the user profile in Instagram is still different. Instagram is still more a platform for influencers. It's still more a platform where you go through mainly video content. And even if you look at hashtag strategies, they're different between Facebook and Instagram. So the possibility that now you can post stuff on Instagram and it will automatically be reposted on your Facebook profile might make things easy, but still you need to check the needs of the different platforms. For example, on Facebook nowadays, you can make reels and shorts. On Instagram, the same thing. But if you do a reel on Instagram, it won't not really gain a lot of traction on Facebook, because still the way users are using those platforms is a bit different. So I believe it's more like merging platforms, like more merging internal processes, but the way how it's being used, I don't think it will change too much.
Okay. What do you think about YouTube as a business tool?
I like YouTube a lot. In business to business, I don't really see it, not in a German-speaking market.
Mhm. Okay, that is really good point. So you believe that there's also different markets that speak different languages, use different social media for different effects, or
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I have a friend in the States, in Florida, who is doing online coaching. Okay, so he's using YouTube for all of that. So basically, he records all his lessons on YouTube channels, and in his online courses, he uses the links to his YouTube channels. And on YouTube, he doesn't publish it publicly. He publishes it in a way that you need the link. So he's
Okay.
basically using YouTube like an external video server, which is great. And additionally, he's getting money from YouTube, through the views. And his customers are business customers. He's doing training for health and safety.
Okay, so for our American viewers who would like to expand internationally, I think it's safe to say that for a global reach, they will need many different strategies for many different markets. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that a lot, but they still have a huge advantage. If you're in the English-speaking part of the world, you can still use the same language to address it. But to understand how different cultures are taking up informations will help a lot. So if you target Australians, you behave and you use kind of a different words and formulations as if you would target US Americans. If you want to target Europeans with English, it's working too, because most of us speak English. You still are using a kind of a different approach based on culture.
So that is when you want to sell your services or your products globally, the culture of the people that you want to serve your product to is really important. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes, absolutely. If I compare, let me just give you an example. My part life coaching and business mentoring. If I would address Americans, the way I would talk, the way I would address them would be kind of aggressive. It would be kind of, intense. It would be kind of really motivating. Yeah. Best example is Tony Robbins. He's usually never quiet. It's always like, wake the child in you, blah, blah. That's, if you try to use the same way in Europe, you won't get a customer, because we need a more quiet way. If you use that way in India, you won't be seen at all, because it's not their style, not at all. It's like in sales, if you want to sell a product, you can talk in your language, but you won't sell. If you want to sell a product, you need to talk in the language of your customer, then you sell. And it's the same thing. It's, by the way, marketing and branding exactly the same too. So why, when you do a branding campaign or a marketing campaign, why do you define the target group first? It's to understand how to address them.
Okay, so social media is the same. So
Yeah, exactly.
all the classical marketing, it's still there. Yeah. Just the tool or the channel is new. So this social media channel, is that correct?
And sometimes you need to translate words. You know, like old hogs like me, we grew up without all of these English words, you know, but it is still the same. Sometimes you need just to translate into a more actual language to understand what, you know, these young marketing gurus are talking about. But they are talking about exactly the same mechanics, the same methods we've been using 30 years ago. Just 30 years ago, we were going from door to door, or we advertising in newspapers and in magazines. We were doing flyers. But all of that you can still find in social media. It's just not called a flyer. It's probably called a newsletter. It's probably not called a magazine. It's probably called a freebie, yeah, or an expert book or something like that that you can give out for free. The methods are the same, just the names are changing about and the tools are changing.
Okay, so nothing ever changed. Everything stays the same, just different tools. Is that correct?
The more I live, the longer I live, the more I agree.
Okay, so my problem the same. So I have exactly the same problem. I just see all these tools and they go, oh, ChatGPT will change everything now, and social media will never be the same, and everything will change, and now the text will be written by ChatGPT and all this stuff.
ChatGPT is a fantastic example, a really fantastic example. You know why? I'm using ChatGPT and I like ChatGPT a lot. But the first thing I realized is ChatGPT was lying to me. ChatGPT was trying to get a logical output without checking the content. For me, it was not a big deal because I'm not using ChatGPT to create new content. So I understood that that was just a new formulation, but it was basically not a fact. It was a fake. Now I'm using actually ChatGPT 4, which is a more conscious model, but it's still the same. The way it is being sold through social media is like, you know, the solution to everything. You don't need your own brain anymore. Use ChatGPT. But you know what? ChatGPT is great. You know what's greater? Your own thoughts. And why? ChatGPT is only as good as you are able to use it. And that's not based on learning how to prompt, because learning how to prompt is just a technique like riding a bicycle. The point is, you need to know exactly what you want, and you need to be very safe in your content. Because ChatGPT can help you organize. It can help you change wording. It can help you translate a text from being motivational to being empathic or being aggressive or being friendly. But ChatGPT will never right now be able to understand the quality of the content. And that is what people don't understand yet. Yeah.
Okay, great point. I'll make a short out of this.
Do that if you like.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so that was about social media. We touch everything a bit. I would like to now go towards LinkedIn. So let's start with our LinkedIn session.
Yes, ma'am.
We met our top person ambassadors, and this was one of the tools that enables us to tag many people that are like-minded or would like to expand their network. It's really international, and there was also a newsletter with that, and a lot of ideas what could happen and how could things develop. And then somehow we just now use this tool for tagging people when we want to have more views on our posts or our articles.
Yeah.
So what do you think about LinkedIn algorithms? How can LinkedIn help business people?
That's especially the last few days a very interesting question, because I don't know if you have realized it on your profile, but LinkedIn was cleaning up their system last week.
I didn't realize that.
No? So many of those who are having above 10,000K followers lost many of those followers. So LinkedIn was cleaning out their system. They threw out all the fake accounts. They threw out all the double accounts. They introduced an additional tool in their algorithm that is able to detect engagement bots. They have upgraded their internal AIs. So if you just do a ChatGPT text and you post it on LinkedIn, the algorithm realizes it and your views go down into the basement. So LinkedIn is still a great platform, but it's not as easy as before. And these kind of engagement systems like the top person, I'm not absolutely sure how much it will still bring in real effect. You know, there's a difference between just increasing your follower number and increasing your follower number in a way that this brings something, that these people are engaged with your content. Even in the past, when you and me were started at the top person, I think you were in the system before I came. The description, how to use, was great. The description clearly stated, if you do a comment, do a high quality comment. But no one really took the time after a certain amount of time. And when I started with top person at the end of 21, it was already in a way that many only engaged like, thanks for sharing, great post, blah, blah. That was already not, you know, you got a like, you got a comment, but it was not really a worthy content.
And it did nothing to your ratings or exposure or.
It doesn't help at all. And nowadays, when I was starting to play LinkedIn again a few weeks ago, I put a few posts into the top persons, and at the end of the day, yes, you can get a higher engagement, but it really doesn't change anything. So I believe the way LinkedIn is heading is more toward getting paid content, getting paid ads, being more specialized in a certain way. It's difficult. I know LinkedIn is in a change right now. I cannot really see where it is going. We need to be surprised, I guess.
What I notice is, because I'm an author of many articles, now they have developed the tool that you can co-author articles.
Oh, really? Okay.
So they would post a topic like how to help a startup reach their first million, and then 3 or 4 of us authors would comment on each topic, and then they would get an article written by 4 different authors automatically, and then everyone can rate our part of the article. So they are trying their best. As I said, for me, LinkedIn is still a Rolodex.
It is, for these purposes, it's really great.
And I also see that a lot of my contacts, they don't like, I have like 20,000 something contacts. I just checked, I didn't lose any follower. So either the cleaning did not come to me, or I have really good network.
Well, if you didn't lose a follower, that basically means that the way you built them up was either organically or without some engagement pods and without some fake actions. So it's a very good indicator.
It was completely organic for me, because most of my contacts are people that listen to me on like fairs and trade events in the past, and then they would engage somehow, or people that we worked on projects together or stuff like that. So I still gain followers. For example, if I have a speaking engagement, I get like 40-50 followers after one engagement. So that is something. And I always check everyone that I work with on LinkedIn. So if it's not on LinkedIn, you get lower credit rating with me, because let's face it, I still do most of my work is still a treasurer. So whoever I'm engaged with, either for investment or or they would like me to look for money for them, or check their business plan. If they don't have a LinkedIn account, I immediately lower their credit rating, and they have to pay everything. That's just how I use it. So
but that's great.
What I see as I also check if they would reply to my message on LinkedIn. That is something I also see. If they reply to my message in timely manner, then I know that they are a user. So, and they're usually verified user. So that is I really like LinkedIn as far as that is concerned. As far as content is concerned, there is a huge disparity between, if I post like myself, I get a lot of views, a lot of let's say feedback and replies. Not the quality comments are rare, I must say that. But people do engage, and I also talk with them either in consulting sessions or, okay, I saw your post and stuff like that, because all my consulting clients also use LinkedIn. I also see that the most engagement I get if I post video directly on LinkedIn. So if I upload videos, if I just use YouTube LinkedIn YouTube link on LinkedIn, it's far lower engagement than if I post video directly.
Absolutely.
If I share my AskFaleskini site post on my wall, then nothing happens. It's just like I get maybe 500 views or something like that.
Yeah.
The same post, because sometimes I share a post and I do my own post, and my post would get like 5,000 views and the shared would get like 500. So it's a huge disparity. I really don't understand how this works. So it's hard to say. I do get money out of LinkedIn. So basically I use it as a tool. So to check credit ratings for people, to see how they're presented on LinkedIn. I also use it as a connection, and I will also use LinkedIn for my podcast engagement. So I often check my guests on LinkedIn. So this is something that I use it for. I also make, I'll say, quite a lot of money with LinkedIn, because I get people asking me directly if I would be their coach or something like that on LinkedIn. So that the LinkedIn is working. However, I don't have the slightest clue how it works. So for me, it's just a black box. I'm putting content on LinkedIn. Sometimes I would put just inspirational quote, and I would get huge engagement. And I would just comment just sharing on that. By the way, you have my LinkedIn link in the description below. So if you want to follow me, you can click below. And I would like to understand how you see the future of LinkedIn.
I think that highly depends on the developments in our societies for the next few years. The changes in the last, let's say, 2.5 years were already massive in LinkedIn, how you could use it, how it responded. The algorithm has been developed very intensely. And today it's really difficult for me to give any kind of prediction, because in the past, some of my content pieces gained like 14, 15, 50, 60, 70,000 views. Right now I'm working below 1,000 views per post. So it's really, really difficult to get any idea what the algorithm really prefers, because there's no rule. You can have 5 accounts doing 5 times the same things, 4 are not performing, 1 is performing like hell. So I believe, but it's only a belief, I believe that the algorithms of LinkedIn, exactly like YouTube, like Instagram and Facebook, will change within the next year massively. TikTok is showing everyone how a real good algorithm can work. And if you compare these algorithms, LinkedIn is like, a Benz from the 1960s, and TikTok is like the new EQS high end, And if you look closer, the way you can tweak LinkedIn is always by paying. Yeah. And the way you can get in being invisible on LinkedIn, since let's say 2 years, is you just type in a certain word and suddenly you're shadow banned. You'll never know why. So LinkedIn has the massive downside, in my point of view, that it's not reliable for your business anymore. If you have a grown account like yours, which is organic, which is really built up organic, it's fine, because you are not depending on what's happening next. if you go on LinkedIn as a newbie right now, especially in the German speaking, because the German speaking LinkedIn is a little bit different. It's like a lottery. It's really like a lottery. And it can easily happen that you invest 6 or 9 or 12 months building your LinkedIn account. And without you knowing why, you're suddenly completely banned. You can even be completely excluded from LinkedIn. And it doesn't matter if you're a paid member or a non-paid member. So LinkedIn has a massive internal problem. And I really compare that with Twitter before Elon took it over.
Okay. Yeah, that is also one last thing I wanted to discuss with you before we move to TikTok. What do you think for me, developing of LinkedIn? I don't know how to get in touch with these guys, but I would develop LinkedIn in a way like I would make a mix of Alibaba and a payment processor of LinkedIn. I think this is the only added value that is possible in the future.
I feel you.
Yeah, I don't see the big problem with me over LinkedIn is I found a partner, business partner. If I'm doing a purchasing, and then I don't know a lot about this partner. Okay, I can see that he has a golden account, so he made some effort, so paid some money for that. I don't know his credit rating. I don't know how he will behave. I don't know any of this because Alibaba has solved all these issues. For example, you have Alibaba credit, you pay with that, and you can just recall your payment. And if it's not delivered, and all the quality stuff and everything is taken out of the occasion because of the insurance that you get. With LinkedIn, you don't have any of this. For example, for all the professionals, LinkedIn could sell indemnity insurance. Yeah, that would be the simplest thing to do. So if you hire me, why don't you check LinkedIn, and I would just purchase indemnity insurance on LinkedIn, and they would make money. I would be I would be much more serious than if I have a professional account, if I have indemnity insurance, and everyone would be happy. And it's so easy. I don't know how they don't see it. It's obvious what you need to do with professionals, and they're just, for me, they're just stuck there. And as you said, we will see what will happen in the next 2 years. But there are so many opportunities. I don't see just we spoke about problems, but there are so many opportunities how LinkedIn could be developed. But it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that they're going toward the knowledge sharing, and that we can author, that there can be multiple authors for articles and all this stuff. I like that a lot. But yeah, that is really great if you just came out of I don't know, best university, and yeah, knowledge is everything. No, business is everything. Knowledge is just a tool to get business, and business needs transactions and needs insurance, and that's the simplest thing in the world. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Basically the same way. You're just speaking words out of my heart, because at the end of the day, if I look at LinkedIn, same for Facebook, but if I look at LinkedIn, it's difficult for me understanding what the fuck they are doing. It's just how it is. Because if I'd have a database only Germany, like we have like, I don't know, 800,000 members in a German-speaking LinkedIn, something like that. If I'd have a community of 700,000-800,000 professionals, I would do everything to make that experience for them as easy and as worthy as possible. I would make sure they know exactly what to do to get into to get a big reach. I wouldn't play with them like doing 2 times the same thing. You don't know what's happening. I would make sure that you cannot fake engagement. And I would make sure that there will be no external branding. Because, the little problem is, since, let's say, 2019, 2018, something like that, these whole personal branding stuff went up a lot. Since like 2020, the numbers of agency are basically multiplying. Like every day, there are 5 or 6 new guys who try to start in personal branding. First of all, I wonder, where do these hundreds of personal branders get their expertise within a month? Because it's just not possible. So I assume they're using ChatGPT. Please, ChatGPT, make branding for, But the next problem is, and that's really a problem. When I started business 30, 40 years ago, it was absolutely clear. First of all, you cannot be everybody's darling. If you're everybody's darling, you're everybody's bitch. You don't have something real unique. That means the uniqueness makes sure you're not everybody's darling, but people will recognize you and you will build up a reputation with your expertise. That led to certain statements based on expertise and experience. And your customer usually quite quickly got a gut feeling if you were the right person to talk to, if you were trustworthy and all of that stuff. Nowadays, if you go through LinkedIn, nearly every second professional profile that sells something has nothing to do with the person anymore. Most of those guys don't even make their own profiles or their own content anymore. So you follow people based on their content until the point where you realize they don't make their content. They don't even take care of the profile personally. So you'll never really interact with the real person. You interact with some person who is hired to be their social media manager for their profile. And basically you don't even get to a result. And I can give you a big laugh. You want to have a big laugh? You want to laugh your ass off? In Germany, we have some kind of a motivational trainer called Bodo Schäfer. It's a good guy. He's really good. He's really great. He's a good speaker and all of that. But, as soon as you have employees, it's difficult to make them do the way you want to do it. So he now is offering personal branding with his team. And in personal branding, usually you try to make people understand, grow organically. Okay? Show your quality, show your content, let people come to you. Now, his social media manager, who is taking care of his content and all of that, was now starting to actively try to connect with interesting profiles. Instead of, Now, the most funny thing is you can't do that. If you have a minimum of strategy, you can do that. You check the profiles, you check where are the points where you can make a connection, and then you type a few lines like, hey, Peter, you are in finance, you are in business, you know about treasure. I am in treasure too. Let's connect. We have something. Okay. But this guy was basically sending out connection requests without checking up front. So you can imagine how I was laughing my ass off when one day the social media manager of Bodo Schäfer, with the Bodo Schäfer profile, was trying to do an active connection request with my profile. That was, it's like you preach A, but you do B.
What I see is a huge problem with all this. I don't know how this, that is why I would like to know how these algorithms work, because they just have a reach. I know I needed like 5 years to grow my profile, active work, not just so publishing everything, and so that I came to 20,000 followers. However, they just go 20,000 in like a week. Yeah, I have this viral, I don't know, post, and everybody started to follow me, and Okay, great. I never made something like that. My best post was probably maybe 10 followers. Yeah, maybe I'm completely useless, but as I said, and they just go 20,000 followers, and then they would just start. You can advertise with us because we have so many followers.
But it doesn't help because these followers are only one time interested.
No, even more. I always say, okay, let's do a profit share deal. So if you have a community, let's do a profit share deal. I will give a discount to your followers, and you will get money from the business it generates. And
let me guess, those influencers were not really interested, huh?
Yeah. No, because I get quite a few requests on LinkedIn, they would like to work with me. So like offer me, okay, we have a network. Would you like to, for example, would you like to promote your coaching sessions on our network? Yes, of course. Let's talk profit share, and it stops. So it's quite simple. Okay, I propose we move to TikTok.
Happy to do that.
I know my listeners and viewers probably don't know that yet, but you're the guru of TikTok for Germany. And that is why I'm really looking forward to our debate on TikTok topic. I have so many questions to ask you.
Well, let me first take some of that guru stuff back. The point is, there are many German TikTok gurus. I'm none of them. I'm just a hardworking guy, and I despise, these lies, these marketing lies. So at the end of the day, yes, my channel grew big and quick and fucking quick, using nothing of what the gurus told me, which basically led to a point that what I did was the bare minimum that was needed, but I was really doing what was needed, nothing left, nothing right. So I'm not really a guru. I'm just someone who found out what you need to do, that it works. And that's
Okay,
all.
okay. I'll say an expert. Sorry, maybe the the word, because the guru used to be a good word in 90s when we were still doing programs, and you found C++ guru and asked him something on chat at that time.
I see it the same way. I see it the same
Yeah.
way. It's just funny. We really have the word TikTok guru in Germany, which is actually not really a compliment, because so many of those guys, they advertise with like 5 hacks to grow your TikTok within a week to 10,000 followers. You check their profile and they're stuck at 4,000, What the fuck?
Yeah, they just didn't apply the trick yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the dirty business first. There is so much talk of America banning TikTok, and is that also there is a bit of let's say first hints of EU considering banning TikToks also. What do you think? What's your take on that?
First of all, the Americans banning TikTok, let us rephrase that. The Americans using the name TikTok to try to pass a bill that will allow them to enter your home Wi-Fi and to check all your connected devices, including all accesses, even if they are encrypted.
Mhm.
And the only thing why TikTok was TikTok, everyone knows TikTok, and they were not allowed to invest in TikTok for a long time. So they were using TikTok as a front to basically create a certain front against TikTok. But fact is that bill goes much deeper. If they pass that bill, no single American citizens has any secret anymore that is somehow connected to his home Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
If they pass this bill, they will be legally able to check and control and supervise and record everything that is in your home connected. That also means streams from Alexa.
Mhm.
Yeah, that also includes data transfer from Kindle. That also includes your private cloud data. That includes everything. That bill basically kills any kind of privacy you have in the States. That's the reality behind the bill. No American want to have that. So what they did basically was not explaining what's in the bill. They were using TikTok to try to hype and get a quick pro decision without really telling what's behind that. That's
Okay.
the thing with TikTok.
So how is TikTok and GDPR handling?
GDPR?
GDPR. GDPR I'll find definition right away. Sorry. GDPR. So general data protection regulation.
Ah, yeah. You know what? Better than all the others.
Okay.
You can buy data from Facebook. You can pay data from LinkedIn. You can get data from Instagram. You can get data from YouTube. You cannot get data from TikTok.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. TikTok was not selling databases. Facebook was. TikTok was not allowing third-party users to spy on their members. Facebook was. TikTok is not asking you personal questions when you create a profile. TikTok and LinkedIn does. Okay? So it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. TikTok uses live data to basically decide what you might be interested in. But TikTok doesn't even send these data through the net. It's only on your device. And as soon as your session is done, it's automatically deleted. You know? I've seen that Congress hearing when it was about TikTok. That was like people who were not able to read wanted to explain a best-selling author how to use grammar.
Okay.
It's really, really fun.
Let's talk about technology a bit. I know you're a technology expert.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah, that is really good because in business it's important that we get also an insight from a technology person. Although you have a special mix that you understand marketing and communication, and you also understand technology and as a tool to use it. So would you say that TikTok is the most advanced social media network right now?
When it comes to the algorithm, definitely yes. When it comes to, let's say it differently. I could explain a lot, but the real fact is TikTok is social media on ecstasy mixed with speed.
Okay.
If you know how to, if you understand TikTok, if you know how to use it, it's the quickest way to results. There is nothing else on the market. It's at the same time the problem with TikTok. You know, I've heard so often from people in my age, 50, between 40 and 50, oh, TikTok is only titties. The point is, TikTok will show you what you enjoyed to watch. Okay. So if there were titties and you were looking at these titties 5 times over until the feed, and then you decide, I don't want to see titties, you're going to see titties again. Because if you don't want to see titties, you would have swiped immediately. Okay. And especially in that Congress hearing, by the way, there was one guy who was complaining about, stuff with children and stuff. And that's so the only reason he was able to see those stuff was because he was actively searching for it more than once. Okay. In my personal feed, there is no dancing. TikTok doesn't show me any dance movie. TikTok doesn't show me anything that is connected to hate. TikTok doesn't show me any kind of commercials because my feed is being trained absolutely clean. TikTok from the algorithm is the best you can use right now. What is a little bit difficult on TikTok is to understand how that works if you're older than 30, because it is perfectly tailor-made for the short attention span our younger people have. And just lately, like a few weeks ago, they have changed those systems to possible long format videos. And right now in different parts of the world, the longest video you can post on TikTok is already 10 minutes.
Okay.
And you cannot do that immediately. TikTok is not YouTube. You have to prove your quality as a creator to get additional levels to post. Okay. So being able to post a 10-minute video means you have to have an account that works, you have to have content that works, and you have to have a certain amount of followership, and you have to prove that you're continuously delivering high quality content.
Okay. So why is TikTok so interesting for business?
Because there is nothing that is quicker. For me, TikTok, I just had a conversation yesterday evening with another coach. Both of us started our business decades ago. We both started at times where you went from door to door ringing the bell. Okay. TikTok is exactly the same. TikTok is like the modern version of ringing the bell on doors. And you know, back in those days, if you wanted to make money quick, you were going ringing doors. You were going to ringing doorbells, selling cash immediately. And TikTok is basically selling on doors 2023. If you understand how to work with TikTok, you can create an income in less than 2 weeks. And you can create an income to live off in probably 6 to 8 weeks. You're not going to be a millionaire, don't get me wrong, but an income where you can say it's worth enough to work on, to continue to do that. It's super quick if you understand how it works. That's all.
Okay. So I'm a financial guy, so I will always ask the same question. What is the investment average company should consider when going to TikTok?
It's not technique, it's not machinery, it's not computers. The technique you need, let's say the materials you need to get traction on TikTok are basically the lowest possible investment. All you need is a smartphone. And if you have an additional microphone to have a better audio, you're already better than most. And if you have some kind of an old notebook, any brand, it doesn't matter, you are fully equipped. You don't need more. Plus internet access. That's all you need.
I will rephrase it. If I'm a small or medium-sized company in US, for example, or in Europe, I think it would be roughly the same. What would I need to budget to start TikTok in order to gain some traction? What would be the
time and effort?
Okay, but
that's all.
In money, how
in
much?
Money.
If I would outsource everything,
if we would make a use case like you have a small business and you have a certain product or a certain service, doesn't matter, and you want to start on TikTok and you want to gain traction, what you would need is a person that dedicates between 2 and 3 hours a day for at least 3 weeks. That's the time to create the routines and the basic momentum. And after that, it's basically directly related to your outcome. That means you can invest an hour a day, you will have a certain outcome. You can invest 2 hours a day, you will have a much bigger outcome. But to make people understand that better is these budgeting is difficult because people need to understand what they need to do to get a result. And then going to the budget, because, you know, the learning curve and the speed that you can achieve to fulfill the needed tasks is highly depending on which processes you use. If your processes are refined, it's quite easy. Now let's get to a few clear facts. To have a good working TikTok channel, you should actually post content continuously 3 to 5 times a day, 7 days a week. That sounds a lot, right? It is not. When I started TikTok, I was overwhelmed by the need of creating 3 videos a day. It was a shitload of work. So I was not listening to any kind of guru. I was just working and fighting my way through to really get a deeper understanding. Today, I know with the right strategy and how to create, it's fucking quick. If I do my basic content for TikTok, which means 21 videos, it costs me less than 2 hours. That means within 2 hours, I create the content for a full week of TikTok. So that's point number one. That can be very quick. The next point that is really important is at least 30 minutes a day interaction with your audience in comment section. Just like on LinkedIn. You just don't need to go as deep. That means if you have something like thank you for your words, thanks for appreciation, that's completely okay, because the reason is different than on LinkedIn. The reason of that communication, of that interaction, is basically to get a new view on the commented video. That means whenever you have a comment, it will bounce internally back and forth to the people who were engaged with the video. The more comments you have on a video, the more interaction you give back as a creator, the longer that video will be kept alive by the algorithm. I have certain videos. One of my best ones had about 700,000 views. With that single video, I got about 15,000 followers. Yeah. You know, I have a second video that had about 120,000 views. I gained 5 followers with that video, but each of these 5 followers was a customer afterwards on a high-ticket product. The interaction helps to keep the videos alive. These 3 videos a day, as I told you, is basically for a complete week, 2 hours of work. The additional 2 videos I create sometimes is a speciality that you have on TikTok, because the interaction, if a viewer comments your video with a real question or with something that is worthy to reply differently, you do not type an answer. You can basically answer that with a video that will be played out by the algorithm on a higher level than a standard created video, because it is a reply to your community. So these additional 2 content pieces is basically, the work you need to do is real time, like, oh, how does it work? Record. Well, thanks for the question. How does it work? It's quite easy. Go to the bottom left, press the button. That's all. If you like my content, press click, publish. That's it. It's fucking easy. It's going from door to door. You've been ringing a door. Hey, I'm going to have this product. Do you want it? I'm not sure. I'm going to call you back. You go away. They call out of the window. Yeah, does it has wheels? Yes, it has wheels. Okay, I'll buy it. That's all. TikTok is quick and easy.
Okay. So the
budget for a small company is basically 1 full day work per week, if they understand the processes. To understand all the processes, to get there, is probably 2 work weeks. And that's not coaching. That's just doing, It's so easy.
Is it possible to completely outsource the work?
You can completely outsource the work. You can basically hire so-called UGCs. It's basically a creator community that's interestingly on TikTok, which are able to deliver you interesting content about your stuff, and you pay somewhere between 20 and 40 bucks per video. So the production costs are not very high. If you want to outsource for a small company and you want to have high quality videos, really good stuff, you can imagine a budget of €100 per day, which basically makes something over $100 per day, something like that. So if you budget 3K a month, you have a completely hosted TikTok channel, including production of the videos. It's basically the same amount of money you would pay for an employee. That is why I do not suggest that.
Yeah, of course, it's outsourced.
Yeah.
When do you think the money can return in sales?
It depends on the products. It depends on how your sales funnel afterwards is automated. And it depends if it is a product you can grab, or if it's a service like a coaching or something like that. Which is, by the way, a great question, because this is the main differentiation of strategy when you build up your channel. So when you have a product, you follow certain rules in production of those videos, and you make sure that in those videos, there's always a hook that delivers the audience to your profile. TikTok allows you, as soon as you have 1,000 followers, to increase stuff like Linktree, like additional websites, like a phone number, a direct order number. It's quite easy. If you have your video content with direct hooks and a direct link, you don't need to pay anything for ads, because it's automated. If you have a product that you can grab and you can probably describe the product by words, you can do a product presentation online live and sell while you do that. And basically, our Chinese and Taiwanese and Korean and Thai friends, they are doing that highly professionals. You have complete warehouses full of small boxes with people sitting in those boxes being live 8 hours a day, selling products directly to end customers through TikTok. It works great. It is as if you have a little angel, and that little angel is pushing new customers in front of you every second. It's only about how good are you doing your sales stuff. It's fantastic. If you sell something like coaching, I'm sorry, am I talking too much?
No. I'm really interested in that.
Okay.
I was so. Is it possible to fully automate TikTok to the extent with all these sales channel and sales people to the extent that it's that becomes cash flow positive? How long did you need to become cash flow positive on TikTok?
If I put it differently, the moment between the decision to monetize TikTok and the moment TikTok was delivering money was 6 hours.
Okay.
But it's difficult to predict how much you get. Okay. So it's always depending on which area you are, which kind of product you are. With the coachings I do, they are quite specific for the coaching contracts. So to give you a live or a real-time example and a real numbers example, the coaching that I offer through my TikTok lives is some kind of a live coaching mixed with a business coaching. The way I do it is that I do 2 lives a week with a certain content, with a prepared content. So I do deliver a value, a part of that value that I deliver in my coachings. Usually I have 1 customer per live. So when I do 2 lives a week, I have 2 new customers for my coaching. And that is basically great because it's 1 hour of time that I take and I know exactly I'm live for 1 hour and I have a new customer. It's nice.
Yeah, that's very good.
It's not bad.
Okay. There are also ads on TikTok.
Yes. Don't do it.
Okay. Are they meant to sell product directly? Are they meant to push your videos? Are they meant for to grow a community? How are they? What are the ads for?
Yes, all of it. You can make ads to sell products directly. You can make ads to make people aware of your brand. You can make or you can give your content a paid add-on so it will be shown to more people to increase views, to increase reach.
Okay.
But you don't need it. The point is, yes, you could get a quick traction by doing that. And you can shorten the time between creating the channel and getting some money out of it. That's true. And it's not really very expensive. But as soon as you start with paid content on your account, the TikTok algorithm classifies you as a paid customer. If you then go with organic content, the algorithm does not really use your organic content very well.
Okay. So yeah, because you're a milking cow.
If you start a TikTok account organically, the first 1,000 followers are a bit difficult because that's the first goal you need to achieve. Then it only depends on your personal performance. But still, you could use an add-on on TikTok to push your content, if you pay, to a larger audience. The same thing, don't do it. If you do that once, your organic content will achieve a lower amount of views. So instead, using the money to pay for ads, use that money for higher quality content, and you will have that effect organically, but you won't only have it one time like you pay for an ad. Of course, for companies like, let's say, Nike or Coca-Cola, it's a different stuff. For them, it's easier to give TikTok a few millions, and a day later, their new product is seen by 1 billion people. But for normal creators, for normal companies, for normal businesses, any way how big they are, it's easy and possible with TikTok, fully organic, to reach your audience. And now comes the funny thing. I think the video quality is good enough. So I can show you a little information. I will just put you, I will just give you an analysis of the demographics, because people are saying that the age is probably all too young, the people are not mixed, or you only get one gender. But that's not true, because the reality is that all ages are on it. And this is my demographic from my account. So basically, I'm getting exactly my target audience. That's why I say the algorithm is, in the moment, the best on the world. If your content is clear, if your strategy is clear, if your, let's say, if your discipline to create content is clear, the TikTok algorithm will pair you perfectly with your target group, much better than any other social media platform.
Okay, that is important. That I would also like to talk about hashtags on TikTok. Are there any hashtags on TikTok? How hard is to get trending on one hashtag and similar?
The hashtag strategy on TikTok is also something that is basically easy as pie. So TikTok has a very high level of artificial intelligence behind it. So when you upload a video, or if you speak in a video directly, that AI is also listening to the words in the video, and it's categorizing that video. As soon as you reach 1,000 followers, when you post content, you will get hashtag suggestions based on the video. You can use them. You don't have to use them. Then there are hashtag strategies. Most of those strategies don't work. If you are really native and you describe what you want to achieve with the video, not what it shows, what you want to achieve, you will definitely gain traction. Okay. So if you post a video about how to avoid problems with depressions, you don't use the hashtag mental health. You use the hashtag avoid depression.
Okay. So it's even more advanced.
It is, absolutely. Then comes the trending hashtags. There are hashtags with 1 billion views. The problem is, these hashtags will only help you if your account size is valuable enough. You can imagine, if we take mental health as a hashtag, mental health has something like 4 billion views worldwide. If you're a creator with 1,000 followers and you use that, you will be listed with that hashtag. But if you search for videos to that hashtag, you're going to be displayed on place 12,768. You will never be played out. So the smaller your account is, the more you have to use hashtags with a smaller amount of views. If your account is already big, you will be listed on, let's say, the top 10, top 20 with the trending hashtags. But using a trending hashtag with a small account does the opposite of what you want. It's the same with trends. You might have heard trends on TikTok, like dancing trends and challenge trends and all of these stuff. They work fantastically, and they do not work at all at the same time. If you use a trend, you need to make sure that this trend has not been used more than 10,000 times worldwide before. If it's been used over 10,000 times, it won't work for you. It might work for you if you have 1 million followers, but if not, you won't grow. If you find a new trend below 10,000 views, or something that grows quickly below 1,000 views, you will definitely grow. So there are a few hacks that you can use to speed up the growth of your TikTok channel in a fantastic way. But mostly they're not really what most of those TikTok gurus explain, because if they would do that, they won't get the money for their courses.
Okay, so would you recommend to business people that they would build their own channel, or they should outsource?
That's a really, really good question. It depends on how much time they can invest. If they can invest the time, it will help to do it by themselves. Because by doing it yourself, you understand much more about how TikTok's system works, how it reacts, and you will understand much easier why certain videos will go through the roof and why certain other videos won't work. The problem is the creating of these TikToks. It needs a certain, let's say, rule set. If you are used to create videos for LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube, if you use the same videos, you will not be successful on TikTok. The TikTok system needs a very strong hook within the first 3 seconds. The first 3 seconds are basically the foundation of your success. That is why in every video, you have a standalone analytics that is given by TikTok. By the way, the TikTok analytics for free is better than the paid analytics from most other platforms. And I'm going to show it to you. If you check any kind of video on TikTok, you'll have basically a graph. This graph shows you the watch time of the single users. That means if a video is coming into your feed, you can scroll it away or you can keep it. And the first indicator is the average time people use before they scroll it away.
Okay.
Now, if more than 40% scroll away your content in the first 3 seconds, it will not go viral. It's definitely clear. It is like that. That means it's easy to analyze your own stuff, why it did not go viral. And you have that graph over the whole video length. That means you are able to control and analyze your own quality just by comparing the retention times that you achieve with what is happening in that video at that time. If you have a dip at 7 seconds, and in the 7 seconds of your video, you basically do something stupid, you know exactly, don't do it again, and there won't be a dip anymore. It's that easy.
Okay. I know you do TikToks in German and also in English.
Yeah.
Which videos have more views, your English videos or your German videos?
Actually, my German videos, because the English speaking channel it has like 5, 6, 7 videos right now. But I was using one of my hacks on my English speaking channel. So I think my 4th video already got like 10, 15,000 views or even more. I can tell you exactly how much I had, because one of the few real hacks that work on TikTok is it had 15,000 views. One of the few real hacks that works on TikTok is if you find a creator that is within your niche, and this creator has a really trending video that is not too old, you can make a stitch or a duet with that video. That means the first few seconds are exactly like the original video. You avoid the dip at the beginning. If you then, let's say, give compliments to the content. Yeah. It is seen positive. But even if you do a completely quiet duet, like you just show your face and you go like, yeah, that's enough. Because if the original content had like 100,000 views, if you do a duet, you can always assume 10,000 views. If you have 10,000 views, you can usually assume somewhere like 10 to 100 new followers.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So duets are also something that.
Yeah. What we do on LinkedIn, like a share in your own feed, usually doesn't give you a lot of followers. On TikTok, a duet or a stitch is kind of the same thing, but it will basically increase the reach of your account. That's a very wonderful hack. And also, if you look for high quality trending content in your own niche, your account is being placed in that niche. What many people don't understand is the TikTok algorithm is basically also like a branding filter.
So you are what you comment on.
If you post 100 videos with the topic treasure control, you will be categorized for treasure control. If then you post one video about, let's say, content creation, you lose your status being a treasure content deliverer. So if you do bullshit to grow your channel, and then you will try to bring your real topic, it won't work. The algorithm will not recognize you as what you are. If you first look for high quality trending content of your niche and you start doing duets and stitches, it is still the same niche. As soon as you have achieved 1,000 followers, you can basically mark the existing content as private, so it's not being seen anymore. And you can post your own content, but stay in the same niche. That means it will automatically be shown to the same audience you've built up before. It's that easy. But never delete anything. So if you want to remove a video on TikTok, don't delete. Just put it on private. Because if you delete it, the TikTok algorithm will think that you will take away content. If you take away content, you don't help the algorithm. If you start to post, create habits. If you want to do 3 videos a day, then do it every day. If you feel that's probably too much, go for 2 videos, but do them every day. If you feel that's too much, do 1, but do it every day. And it doesn't matter at what time. There are people telling you you have to post between 5 and 6 or at 3 p.m. or whatever. That's bullshit. But what you should do is post every day at the same times. It's just like selling at the door. If your customers are used that you ring the door at 1 a.m. and your product is good, they will make sure being at home when you ring the bell. If you used to post at 1 a.m. or p.m., the algorithm will learn that your content is delivered at 1 a.m. If you don't deliver at 1 a.m., but at 2 a.m., the algorithm thinks, oh, it's not secure. I cannot expect that content, which will result in a lower amount of views.
Okay.
So if you want to get good and quick, 3 videos a day, and each of this video at a certain time of day that you will use repeatedly. I was using 1 p.m. I was using 1 p.m. for my first video. I was using 5 p.m. for my second video and 8 p.m. for my third video, plus minus 15 minutes. So you have a tolerance of like 30 minutes plus minus. And because I was doing that every day, The algorithm knew that he could rely on me as a creator. And what people often don't understand, social media has the pure and only goal of screen time. To get screen time, you need content. Content is what we deliver. The more intelligent the algorithm is, the more the algorithm will pre-plan. The TikTok algorithm is able to basically pre-plan his actions. If you are a reliable content delivering machine, the algorithm will prefer your content because he knows exactly there will be content in 30 minutes. So I can already prepare the feeds for the followers and others who are interested in the content. If you are not reliable, make 12 videos a week, 1 day free, 1 day 5, 2 days nothing, you will never get that reward from the algorithm until you achieve a certain size. As soon as you are over 50,000 followers, from my experience, this changes a little bit because the TikTok algorithm will categorize you as a worthy creator because of your size. And then it's more tolerant, then you can basically post whenever you like, you will always get views, even if you make a break for a few days. I had a break over Easter time. I had to do a lot of different times. So there were a lot of different things. There were 3 weeks I wasn't posting anything. If you do that with a small account, the first video you post will get 272 views. Exactly 272. That's a basic number for the first test group that will see your views. When I came back after 3 weeks, my first video got about 7,500 views because the algorithm knew my community was active on my account even without me posting new stuff. But you have to achieve a certain size. And if you look at the real big creators with millions of followers, like KB Lame, that black funny guy.
Yeah.
He can post 1 video a month nowadays. He will still get billions of views. Okay. But you need to achieve that level and you need to work for that level. So, and the only metrics is the amount and quality of your content. And the amount is more important than the quality. And to support that, TikTok is actively helping you as a creator. As soon as you have 1,000 followers, you can go live. When you go live, the live session will automatically be recorded by TikTok. After that, you can download your live session and you can use that to create your own video cuts. But you don't need to, because TikTok automatically creates the best moments out of your life, suggests them as already pre-cut video clip. You can add text, you can still cut them. But basically, if you go live for an hour and it's not too boring what you do, you will get after that live automatically 3 to 5 short form videos from TikTok. You just need to upload and post them. It's a little bit like the remix function on YouTube. Yeah. Just if you do remix on YouTube, you have to select the part in your video that was good. And that's already done in TikTok. And what are they using? In a live, your guests can interact with you. They can interact with likes and they can interact with gifts. And they use those moments with the highest level of interaction. So
you mentioned gifts. What is this all about?
Yeah, gifts are great. Monetizing on TikTok can be done by selling a product or selling a coaching service, but you don't really need that if you don't have it. So if you're a big mouth like me, you can do it completely different. Going live also means creating live content. If you live, you are creating screen time for TikTok. And if you get likes, that's like on every other platform. But you can also get gifts. A gift on TikTok starts with a little rose. The value is 0.0 US dollar. It's 1 cent.
Okay.
I think it's 1 cent. But you know, if you have a live with 400 people and each of those 400 guys is giving you 10 roses, you have $40.
Mhm.
Why should they give you a gift? Because you deliver interesting content. So those streamers on TikTok, what they do is they try to make an interesting session for their audience, either by telling a story, by reading a book, by telling a fairy tale, by doing a live coaching for free,
Mhm.
by singing a song, by playing a guitar, by, whatever you like. It is like a live theater, like a live concert, whatever you like. And the audience is free to give gifts, and some of them are giving gifts. Now, a rose for a cent is not really a big deal, but there are different gifts. A TikTok universe is $200. It's a
Mhm.
single gift. So as a small example, my last live coaching I did, which was 2 days ago, last Friday, I had a coaching session about 1 hour in a TikTok live. And in this 1 hour, I got 168,000 diamonds. This is a value of $850.
Mhm.
In other words, I was delivering a high quality coaching to an audience that I was building up over 6 months. And I was rewarded with $800 for that hour of work. I think that's good money.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Now, the next thing, if you have some entertainer genes, you
Mhm.
can go live and you can invite guests. What we do here right now, we could do the same thing in a live stream on TikTok, while people could watch, while people could ask questions, while they could interact, and while they could send us gifts. So if the topic is interesting enough, you can basically make a live show like Tucker Carlson's, but with a live interaction.
Mhm.
Maybe you have heard about Samuel in the US area. Kevin Samuels was a guy who was counseling ladies what they should change to finally get a man.
Yes.
It was a live show, and you see a lot of these short videos nowadays on
Mhm.
TikTok. The guy died a short time ago. It's very sad. But that was basically exactly what you can do on TikTok Live. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then you can basically use it for public relations. After our podcast recording today at 2100, I will have a TikTok live where I will moderate 1.5 hours. In that live, I have the German champion in heavyweight boxing.
Mhm.
He's one of my live guests. The PR company who is doing his public relations and also a personal friend of mine is my second live guest.
Mhm.
A young female coach, because you know optics, a young female dating coach is my third guest. And we will basically have something like a live talk show on TikTok in a live. The effect is all our 4 followerships will be informed, and we support us with our reach because, followers of the boxer will get to know me. My followers will get to know the dating coach. The dating coach followers will get to know the guy from public relations. And at the same time, we are live and we can also get gifts if someone wants to give us something. And at
Mhm.
the same time, everything is recorded and we can use that recording to create short form content afterwards. So TikTok, if you understand how to use, is a fantastic platform with a lot of synergy effects. Next way to make money. Probably you're a young guy or a girl and you really have fucking nothing in your head. There might be a few of those. Doesn't mean you cannot make money. TikTok has a system where you can play matches between 2 guys in a live. That means you have your audience in your life, the other one has its audience in your life, and you can basically play a match. Who of these guys gets more likes? And it's like on, the carnival um, 20, 30 years ago with the guys yelling in the microphone, "Now, come on, one more time, just buy one more time. You will be lucky next." That's what they do in those lives. So they inspire their audience, they make fun with their audience, they build up fronts, it's like the yellow team is matching with the black team. Let's say who's getting more likes today, and with this kind of active engagement and active entertainment, they're also making money. And it's not a little money. There is a ranking list, and the highest ranking guy is having somewhere around 2.2 million diamonds in a month. I told you 160,000 are $800. So only through this live entertainment, this guy is making about 15,000 US dollars or euros a month. And he's doing about 2 or 3 hours a day. That's good money.
Yep.
Yeah. So TikTok is a platform that gives a lot of opportunities. And if you're a little bit old-fashioned, it's easy to work with. Because everything that is hype won't work. Continuity, delivering, quality, content, that is what really works on TikTok.
Okay, so it's a long run.
It is
a long run, so it's not a sprint.
Yeah, it's a marathon, absolutely. And sometimes you see profiles with 1 million followers in one video. You can always assume there have been 1,000 videos that are all being marked as private. There is no overnight success on TikTok. Only if you are a celebrity. So if something like Rihanna or, Mike Jordan or...
Yeah, they get endorsed and they're looked for and they have their own hashtags and all this stuff.
And that's quick because TikTok has a button internally. So if the TikTok crew decides that you will be a celeb, you'll have 1 billion views within a minute. Yeah, they can influence that. They usually don't. It's not their policy. But for certain things like the TikTok videos from Mr. Chen from the Congress hearing, that's where they use it.
Okay. Another very important thing I want to find out today before we close that. So about 3 to 5K a month to grow a channel for small businesses. What's the turnover of business when you would recommend? How big should the business be before you would recommend paid ads on TikTok?
I don't recommend them at all.
Okay.
I really don't.
Basically, so generic only.
The setup of your sales funnel is more important, and the quality of your copy, the quality of your content. So as soon as you have 1,000 followers, you're allowed to add links in your profile. And then it's only a matter how much do you convert from video views to profile views. And even without a high-end strategy, with my content in the first 3 months of this year, I had an average of up to 1,000 profile views per day. That means all you need after that is someone who is professional in setting up a sales funnel. That's not in your service. And if you have someone and you tell them, listen, there are 1,000 clicks a day, what can you do? That's for them, that's like a warm rain. Yeah. If you have engaging content where you directly tell people to watch your profile, I never did that. Okay, so I got these profile views without any hooks. If you do engagement like watch my profile for a few newbie, watch my profile for, click my button to get whatever, you can multiply that up to 3 or 4, 5, 6, 10 times. I tried that with one certain video, and I had an engagement rate ratio view to views from 8.97% with 110,000 views. That means one video was able to give me more than 10,000 profile views. For me, that was a case study. I did not use it to monetize, but it is a clear indicator how powerful that can be.
Okay. Thank you very much for this debate. I think the listeners and viewers have learned a lot. Basically, they should be able to set up a TikTok strategy and set up their venture into TikTok as a tool based on our discussion. So I thank you very much for your time, and thank you for sharing all your experiences.
I'm happy to be here, and it's fun to share that because it's really easy and it makes a lot of fun. So TikTok is like a playground, and it can create not only fun, it also can create fantastic connections because you really meet interesting people on TikTok. It's like LinkedIn. We met through LinkedIn, and
Yeah,
I'm happy
sure.
that we did.
Okay, thank you.